I'm about to make some homemade beeswax foundation using a silicone mould and beeswax that I've recovered myself. The silicone mould was made from liquid silicone that I purchased online. It's readily available, and I used a sheet of plastic foundation to produce the mould. It's quite a simple task. All I need to make the foundation is an old fry pan. I heat the beeswax just to simmer so that I don't overheat it, a soup ladle and a paint scraper. One of the first things that I need to do to the silicone mould is wet it down, and I just use a little bit of water with a couple of drops of liquid detergent, and I need to shake off most of the surface before I pour in the liquid wax. Place it on a nice flat surface, and then I ladle in the beeswax. Do this carefully so that you don't spill it. And all I need to do now is carefully close up the mould. There is no real rush. And you'll see that the beeswax is pushed along as the mould closes. And if I'm careful, a little bit will flow out the end. A couple of minutes ago I made this sheet of foundation, and I used the corner of the paint scraper just to trim off the surplus beeswax. And at the moment the beeswax is still reasonably plastic because it's still warm. If you have a look at this piece of beeswax, there's a slight impurity in here that I picked up in the wax. It doesn't seem to worry the bees at all. They'll draw that out regardless. Now this beeswax, when it does harden fully, becomes quite brittle. Cast beeswax is quite brittle, so I like to actually embed it into a frame straight after I make it. And this beeswax will hold its shape. Normally I would place this frame back into a hive within a couple of weeks. And there we have it. And let's go back and have a look. The piece that was just cast. The surplus beeswax goes back into the pot. All we need to do now, carefully open the mould. Take out the sheet of foundation. There it is. And while it's still quite plastic, sit it on a flat surface. Press it nice and flat, and we go and start the process again.